Welcome back to AC's Fantasy Recap. Going to be recapping week 3 in the fantasy football season today. We have Tate Garrett's on the pod. Great guest. Enjoyed talking to him. Going to go over some of the matchups. There was a specific play in Sunday Night Football that fucked me in this league, fucked Tate in another one of his leagues, so we're going to be talking about that. Going to play a little Kirk Cousins, who would you rather have at quarterback? And then Karl Anthony Towns is back in the news. Going to discuss that. So please enjoy. Thanks. Very special guest on the pod this week. He's a son, a brother, a new husband, a great friend, but maybe most important, he is a great fantasy football player. You guys know him as Tate Garrett. Tate, welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, boys? I'm a shitty-ass fantasy player, let's be honest.
There you go. So we have a lot to get into today, so we're gonna roll right into it. Before we do that, I don't really talk to Tate without doing a little drinking, so it's 4:55 on a Tuesday, basically the weekend, so let's crack them. And cheers to our shitty fantasy football season.
Cheers.
So I think the first thing that we have to get into is we'll start with my matchup with Josh this week. And it wasn't a pretty matchup. 79-77 was the final score, lowest scoring matchup, one of the lowest scoring matchups I've ever seen. But I want to talk specifically about a play that happened. And as you guys know, after week 1, I spent $29 on Jeff Wilson Jr., which was definitely a reach. I don't think I was heavily bid against, but he's been pretty good for me so far. You know, he's put up double digits the 2 weeks I've played him. But in the Sunday night game, there was a play that basically lost me the matchup. And what it was is the 49ers are down to the god-awful Denver Broncos, and Jimmy G throws, just kind of dumps it off. It's kind of a broken play, dumps it off to Jeff Wilson Jr. He runs it for about 15 yards, which, looking at the score right now, that basically would have put me ahead of Josh. It would have been really close, but probably would have put me ahead in the matchup and won me the game. But what ends up happening is he fumbles at the end of the play. Broncos get it, kneel it out. I lose the matchup. So he totally fucking fucked me. And even more ironic is this also affected Tate in another fantasy league that he had. So Tate, why don't you talk to us about what happened in your league as well?
Kind of the same exact thing, you know, just a couple points that you need to win, and you instead go -2 with 1 minute left in the game. And, you know, you're tripping on shrooms, so feels that much worse.
That is that's a bad trip, is what you call that. No pun intended.
That's a fucking bad trip.
That's a fucking bad trip, baby. What also, and I wouldn't have necessarily won. I mean, he still had Deebo Samuel. It was just like such a fucking brutal way to one of the worst Sunday night games I've ever watched too. Like the Broncos, so painful to watch. Go ahead.
They just got to stop putting bad teams, bad matchups in primetime Sunday night, Monday night games. We just can't keep doing this.
I don't understand why don't they just put the Chiefs every Sunday night? I know they have some stinkers too, but it's just like, why are we pretending like this 49ers Broncos matchup is going to be anything but a total shitstorm?
Exactly.
Yeah, so pretty brutal one for me to lose. As I said, you know, especially following up my 62-point performance, only putting up 77, losing to a 79. Pretty brutal for me, and not the start I wanted for this fantasy season. And it just sucks. It just sucks. You know, I'm going to have to do something with Jeff Wilson Jr. I can't let these players get away with it. If you fuck up, at the end of the game with the game on the line, I can't start you the next week. There has to be some repercussions for fucking up that bad. So
you can't keep getting away with this.
They can't keep getting away with it. Absolutely. So you had a pretty close matchup too. Came down to the Monday night game. Tate versus Sam Elliott. And you tell us how that one ended up for you.
Zeke basically just got it done. My running backs didn't get it done. And it's a pretty boring matchup, to be honest. Sam probably sweat a little bit towards the end of that first half. He didn't have many points, so he might have been a little nervous, but
Zeke's bad too.
Yeah.
Every time he runs it, he doesn't have any of that get up that he had early in his career. He's kind of painful to watch. Tony Pollard's probably the better back for them, I would say.
I think I really hate his helmet and face mask and visor look. It just looks terrible.
It's one of those things. It's only cool when you're doing well and you're not doing well. So.
And you're washed. So it's all right.
But ended up with 74 yards, got that 1 yard rushing touchdown, kind of brutal for you. Ends up losing that one. I kind of want to get into your team a little bit because you had the funny draft. You end up taking 4 running backs to start off with. You've been trying to deal them around the league. I know we've had a couple of talks. I know you've talked with Jared. I think you've basically talked to everybody in the league.
I've talked to everyone.
You've talked to everyone in the league. You have these the situation has been the same the whole season. You have running backs, you need receivers, and you're constantly talking about trades. So it kind of begs the question, are you just all fucking talk when it comes to these trades and not actually willing to get something done? How do you respond to that?
That's hilarious. I think I am all talk, but I'm also getting lowballed by everybody. I hate everyone in this league. If I get one more trade from Aaron Schwecke on some bullshit, I'm leaving the league.
But at what point do you kind of have to take the lower end of the trade just to move some of these guys? And you're kind of in a interesting position right now because with the DeAndre Swift news, sounds like he's out for a couple of games. You are kind of in a position where you need to get some points. You can't really throw weeks. So is this an opportunity for you to maybe trade with one of the higher guys like Justin, who needs a running back, who can afford to sit DeAndre Swift for a couple of games? Obviously the offer isn't going to be as good because he has to sit for the next 2 weeks, but is that something you're looking to do going forward, or how are you going to get this done? You're just going to keep rejecting these shitty Aaron Schwecke offers, or what?
I don't know. You should keep giving me more ideas. Probably definitely should have dealt a running back before one of them got hurt. That would probably have been a smart move. But, I was trying to get a few things. Wanted one trade pretty bad. Didn't get it done. Was trying to really navigate 2 trades at once. That would have been the move.
There needs to be a better, and ESPN, we've talked about it just being the fucking worst platform of all time, but kind of unwilling to move from it at this point anyways. But there needs to be a better way to do it, a 3-team trade, which we've always talked about doing. And I think almost every year there's a hope of doing that. But how the fuck would you even get it done? You'd have to get Josh involved, which would be a pain in the fucking ass because he would have to hold everyone accountable to switch the guys. That's something they need to figure out because as we mentioned, I think there's a possibility for that. I'd definitely be interested in being a part of the first 3-team trade in the league.
Let's make it fucking happen.
Let's make it happen. All right, so we got through your matchup, Sam Elliott with the win. Let's get through. Let's not spend a whole lot of time on these, but let's go through some of the other matchups. Wooly and Sam had another close matchup, another low-scoring matchup. Sam Nodler gets the 87-83 win.
So he ends up with 1 point, not the top half point.
Right, misses out on the top half point. Where was the cutoff for that? I think it ended up being like 96.
96.2 JT.
Justin had a late surge from his team to get that second point. But yeah, I mean, not a super impressive matchup here. Now with this Justin Herbert injury, I was looking at Willie's team, and he has Trevor Lawrence on the bench, who put up a 25 spot, I want to say. So
Yeah.
wonder if he's going to go for him. What's the deal with Justin Herbert? Like, are they going to sit him? Is he now fine because he played through it? Like, now that he has another week to rest, or
From
what's
what I
going on
saw,
there?
he didn't look good. Maybe Willie goes with the Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk stack, That's clearly a duo right now.
I have Christian Kirk in my other league and sat him the first 2 weeks, but he's kind of nasty. And he because he had the crazy contract, right? It was like 4 for 80 million when he was like the third stringer on the fucking Cardinals.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be an interesting matchup for him. Sam, he had 17 from Mahomes. AJ Brown's looking really good too, 17 points there. Just a bad week for Wool. Not too concerned about either of these teams, though.
No, they look good.
They'll be juggernauts going forward. We got Jeff and Jared up next, and Jeff just kind of rode the Lamar Saquon bus to the win for this one. Top scorer this week. Didn't have him on. He's got
112.
112 for top scorer. That's probably the lowest top scorer for the rest of the season, I would imagine.
You would think.
It was just kind of a bad week all around. And I feel like we get like 2 to 3 of these a year, but just not a lot of offensive points. People definitely, I don't even think the benches were that good. I don't know if I could have played my team like that much differently, only ending up with 77, but just kind of one of those brutal NFL weeks where it's not going to be a lot of points, low scoring matchups. But as we said, Jeff with 112, didn't have him on the pod this week. He's got to get ready for some fucking wedding, I guess. So gave him a rest from the pod this week. But Jared's able to squeak out a point here.
Huge. That's all Young Ho, honestly. Second highest scorer on his team for the week.
Young Ho with the 12 bomb.
Yeah, just absolutely beautiful.
Kind of disgusting that he didn't draft him. I feel like he just has to draft him every year now.
Yeah,
you have to have Young Ho. We should make that a rule going forward. Jared, you have to have Young Ho on your team for the matchup to count.
The one thing I wanted to mention quick before we move on, when I look at Jeff's team, I just instantly think about Lamar, Dalvin, and even Madison now with Dalvin sort of hurt. Traded all those players to Jeff for a bunch of bench players.
I have to disagree with that. Damian Pierce, 18 bomb. Jerry Jeudy didn't do what I wanted him to do, but I don't even know who else I got. Chase Edmonds actually had a 15 bomb. Could have played him. Should have played him. Who's the other guy I got?
Juju.
I just don't. He's just going to be he's like the Cardinals receivers last year where there was like 2 guys and you're just like, which one's going to get a touchdown this week? And he's going to be that for the entire season.
And then Lamar's putting up 40s each week.
Yeah. It hurts. We'll revisit that trade in a couple weeks, though. I think these dudes are about to pop off. So
I like it. Let's revisit.
Lamar, he's a runner. Could get hurt.
Let's revisit.
Could get hurt very fucking easily. So Jeff comes up with the 2 points. Jared gets 1 there. Moving on to Aaron Schwecky and JT and Bronco Country. Let's suck dick. I think this is probably my least favorite team in the NFL right now. I have Russell Wilson in my other league, and he is such a frustrating player. He misses wide open guys. He just looks bad throwing the ball. He doesn't run when he can. And Aaron still comes up with the win, 104 points to JT's 96, but gonna have some QB problems going forward, I think.
Yeah. They both, Schwecky gets 2 points and JT sneaks out a point. JT's got a good squad. Can't really say much about Aaron's team. He's got the Broncos guys. And yeah, Russell Wilson is the worst human, maybe other than Aaron Rodgers. I don't like those two are like best friends.
I'd say those are 1 and 2 for sure. Russell maybe has a little more love for his family than Aaron Rodgers, but so maybe they actually wouldn't be friends, you know?
I was just gonna say they're like so different, but so
the same.
hateable.
Yeah, exactly. They're just nothing going for either of them. Yeah, Justin's got a good squad. He did have that late surge by CeeDee Lamb. Dude, that CeeDee Lamb crossing route that he just drops. Why are there like a couple guys in this league like CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Judy does this all the time too. Just drops wide open fucking passes. These guys are like Alabama top dudes.
Yeah.
Why are you dropping the ball so often?
I mean, at least CD redeemed himself at the end, and
that was a pretty nasty.
Got it done, but yeah, when you're that wide open, and like you said, it's like you're the number one wideout. Kind of got to make a play.
I know Jefferson's had a couple of uncharacteristic drops the past couple of games, but could you imagine if he dropped something like that? I'd freak the fuck out.
It wouldn't feel the same.
No, it wouldn't. Aaron gets the dub. Good showing from Marquise Brown too. Good to see that for him, but still like Justin's team a lot. Nothing to shake your head at. He's leading the league right now with 5 points. So, should be pretty happy about that result. All right, before we get into the final matchup of the week, I want to introduce a new segment, and it is the "What Are You Doing" of the week. And Tate has a sponsor for us.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
This podcast is sponsored by Coors Light, the shittiest beer you could possibly find.
Thank you very much, Tate. So this week's "What Are You Doing" goes to Alexander Higgins. Puts up a 46 bomb, plays Justin Fields, have no idea why. Looking at Justin Fields' games this year, not really sure what he saw in him. I guess Houston, but really, really poor performance from Team Fire Sale. And this is a bad team. And Higgins, you're probably mad at me for not doing the "What Are You Doing" last week, but guess what? It's my fucking pod. If you want to do it, make your own. This is a bad team, and I don't know what Higgins is going to do to make it better. You have any suggestions for our friend?
Well, try and pick your starters better. The bench obviously popped off. I mean, it's tough to do. My next suggestion would just be to make a trade with me, and we can figure this out together.
Yeah, Higgins had just a bad showing. I mean, Schneider, congrats, man. You won by 63 points.
I didn't think you could score this low.
It has to be. Is it the lowest that we've ever had in our league?
I should have looked it up, but I didn't.
We need a statistician. That should be Josh's job too. Josh, get on the fucking stats, dude.
The Justin Fields thing, that just really hurts. But I wrote in my notes, I said, I see a big bounce back coming. Don't sleep on the man.
He's been in the position before.
Last year through 4 weeks, he had 1 point. I had 0. And we were both in the championship. So I see a big bounce back. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Higgins definitely has that dog in him. he'll hopefully come back. But 46, man, that's a tough one. Good job, Schneids. Got the 2 points. Just bad week for the league. Nothing else to really say about it. All right, let's do a little Vikes recap before we get into our next segment. So early on, this was a bad one. Feels like I've watched this exact same Vikings game a million times. Honestly, could have been a replay, and when it's just slow, constant 3 and outs. We just get into this groove where we're kind of doing the same thing. Like Dalvin, I guess, was working for us early on, which is, positive, as he hasn't done too much in the first couple of weeks. Irv Smith Jr., I've seen enough. I have seen enough Irv Smith Jr.
Take off the 84. Take it off.
It's disrespectful. And then I love after the drop too. It's like we run a design screen for him like immediately after. It's like, this isn't the guy that we want to be designing plays for. Adam Thielen's like non-existent for the first, 20 minutes of the game. Doesn't even have a catch. Finally gets in the end zone, and then we start using him. But you just, I don't know. It just feels like classic Vikes where we come out, we're just flat, and feels like we don't really have a game plan.
Yeah. When you have a D that plays that fucking soft, go down 14 rip.
Swiss cheese single ply. I like the column.
Amon Ra doing it. Everybody's doing it to us. DJ Chark. Just doesn't even matter.
Goff looks good.
Just making him look like a god. And then bringing it back to tie it all that way.
Yeah, that was nice. We, even with the kicking woes too, those are back. Greg Joseph is not the answer, it doesn't seem like. I mean, he missed 2 56-yarders, I guess. But
man, the kicking in this game.
Everything
would have been so different.
So different. Later on in the third quarter, we had the Dalvin fumble injury combo. You love to see it. Just
classic.
We'll get that
when he tore his ACL.
Yep, kind of like that. We'll probably get that a couple more times this year. At least he's day to day. Good news for Jeff. But it looked bad. The way he grabbed his shoulder too. I was like, broken collarbone for sure. Like,
yeah, I thought it was.
But then
when he started run, he like kind of ran to the blue tent. I was like, uh-oh.
Dude, it's so funny. My dad texted me like late in the game. He's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we have Dalvin Cook and we're handing off to Alexander Madison. We have Justin Jefferson and we're throwing it to Irv Smith. And I'm like, Dad, number one, Dalvin Cook is out for the rest of the game. Don't think you're watching it. Number two, like Justin Jefferson, you got to get open if we want to throw to him. He's getting double, triple covered the whole game. I'd love to go to Justin Jefferson every play. I'd love to go to Dalvin Cook every play. It's tough when they're covered and injured for the rest of the game.
Also, just don't talk shit about Alexander Madison, okay?
He's nasty.
That last touchdown run was insane. He didn't even go down.
And that's why I'm never that concerned when Dalvin goes out either. Like, it sucks. I don't want him to be injured. He's obviously the best running back we have, but I never feel like, we have to scramble when he goes off because Madison's pretty nice.
I like when Madison touches it.
So, yeah, he's a nice player. So all of this culminates. Detroit gives us the ball. We go 3 and out. Feels like just complete hopelessness. No chance we're going to win this. They go down. They've been going for it on 4th the whole game. They decide to kick a long field goal. Kicker shanks it. Big Dick Kirk gets the ball back. And we even texted in the group message, just absolutely no chance that we win this game. We're losing it for sure. And what does that motherfucker do? Throws a dime. He was wide open. Throws a dime to KJ for the go-ahead touchdown with 45 seconds left, and we're celebrating, baby.
And that was a great route by KJ.
I like KJ.
When you're that wide open, Kirk hits him clean. Just feels so good. KJ
So
good.
He's
midway through the route, putting his hand up. He already knows,
It's so funny because I do I get up from my couch, I give it like the single fist bump, and then immediately just look at the clock, and I'm just like, 45 seconds is a lot of fucking time. We're probably gonna lose anyway.
Yeah. Those games just never feel good.
No, they don't. It's a whirlwind. It's hard. It's hard. It takes a lot off of me. I'm an old man. I drink, freaking smoke. I can't be doing this all the time.
Man.
So with that, we're going to do this game on a good Kirk Cousins week, I would say. Not a great Kirk Cousins week, but a fairly good one. We're going to play the who would you take over Kirk Cousins. We're going to go through all 31 teams besides the Vikings in the NFL. And this is a game that me and Tate have played probably 4 or 5 times before, just running through quarterbacks, and we're going to go over if we would take them over Kirk Cousins. Now, the rules of this game is you are taking this quarterback right now for the rest of the season. So the goal of the season, obviously, to win the Super Bowl, and getting them right now, they have to learn the offense. So this is basically we're grabbing Patrick Mahomes. He starts training with the Vikings Wednesday. Is he a better choice than Kirk Cousins?
That kind of throws a huge wrench into it.
It does throw a wrench into it.
Yeah.
But if the quarterback's good enough, I don't think it's going to change it too much. The other is we're only going to go with the starting quarterbacks completely healthy. So for Dak and Mac Jones, just assuming they're completely healthy, and we'll go from there. All right. NFC North. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, obviously a yes.
I'm going to go with no. I fucking hate that dude.
Holy shit. Already controversy. You're not going to take Aaron Rodgers over Kirk
Fuck
Cousins?
Aaron Rodgers, dude. I hate him. Look at the way he looks at his teammates. Look at the way he thinks he's so cool. He's miserable to look at. I couldn't watch the Vikings play every Sunday with that guy as my QB.
It would be pretty brutal to watch the Vikings, but come on, man. I mean, personality-wise, I'm taking Kirk all day long, and that dude has no fucking personality.
And that guy's lame as hell.
But, I mean, skill-wise, I got to take Rodgers. All right. Detroit, Jared Goff. It's going to be a no from me, although he's looked decent this season.
Yeah. I would say it's not that far away. I mean, if you had asked me last year, I would have said, fuck no. But
also, if we had done this game last week, a lot of these would be switched. But we're doing it this week. So
yeah, it is this week. So
yeah. So Jared Goff, no. Chicago, Justin Fields. Do you need to see anything else from Justin Fields?
That he might be the worst fucking QB in the league. I got one QB coming up that I might hate worse.
Okay. Yep. So Fields a no for both of us. NFC East, Dallas, Dak Prescott. What do you got?
100% healthy. I'd probably go Dak just because he can actually move.
See,
that's tough.
This is a tough one for me.
That's probably right on the edge.
It's close for me. I went with no. And I think it has to do a little bit with the O-line this year because the O-line's actually held up pretty well. So it's not like we need the most mobile quarterback. And in terms of just winning big games and the allure of the quarterback, Dak just kind of seems like black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I feel like if he wasn't on the Cowboys, I would be more willing to say yes. But I don't know. I think I hate the Cowboys, and I don't know. It's a close one.
That's
I'd
a
say
close
they're
one.
pretty
I'm gonna go.
similar.
I'm gonna go
But I'd
no.
probably
You ended on yes.
I think I'd go Dak.
All right. New York. This is Daniel Jones. It's gonna be a no from me.
Yeah, definitely no. Love that dude running around like a psycho, though.
Yeah, he was under pressure yesterday. Philly. Hurts. You'd asked me before the season, I would have said no, but I'm saying definitely yes right now.
Yeah, 1,000%.
He just destroyed us in that week 2 game, so
Yeah.
that's pretty obvious one. Washington, Carson Wentz.
That's a no for
That's
me.
a no from me. NFC South. These could be quick ones. Well, actually, I think this might be your guy in here somewhere. Atlanta, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, no.
That's a no from me. No from Tate. Carolina, Baker Mayfield. What do you got for me?
This fucking guy, everywhere he goes, he's the problem, or acts like he's not the problem. Goes to the Browns. They got a sick squad, kind of can. This is his squad. They got good running backs, decent wideouts. He's just missing guys everywhere. Goes to the Panthers. Oh, fresh start. Big talker. Talk some shit. Just killing the wide receivers there. McCaffrey can't get anything going. The dude just sucks. He's probably good, and he's like completing less than 50% of passes in games. His QBR is the worst in the league. It's like, just go away, dude.
Yeah, he's really bad. And who's the other guy that came from the Jets? Sam Darnold. Like, at what point
Yep.
what are they? 1 and 2, I think. So
Didn't
maybe
he? Is he hurt or is he not hurt anymore? I don't know. I think they got to start. I mean,
yeah, Baker's bad. It sucks for fantasy if you have Christian McCaffrey. I just don't think he's that dude. He's definitely not that dude.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's on IR, but I think he can come back soon
in a couple weeks or something.
So they might just do that.
Yeah,
Baker is so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to watch.
I also am holding a grudge against him from last year when Chubb was in the playoffs for me in the finals, and he just couldn't get the ball moving for the offense. Chubb just scored like 3 points, and I lost.
So yeah. Little residual hate there, but that's what fantasy is about. Hating guys unrationally, irrationally.
Just fuck that, dude.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yes on Baker? All right. Baker's a no for both of us. Saints, Jameis Winston. It's a no, but personality-wise, it's a yes.
God,
that dude is a walking viral clip.
He's a walking W, bruh. I really wish I could say yes.
I wish I could say yes, but we can't.
He's just the best, but
he's great. He's comedy, baby. Tampa, Tom Brady. Even declining Tom Brady, come on. You got to take him.
That's not something I'd think about.
Tom Brady, yes, for both of us. NFC West, Arizona Cardinals. I don't think we'll split on this, but Murray's a yes for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's closer. Before the year, I probably would have said like yes for sure, but after just so far this year, I feel like it's been pretty underwhelming.
It's been underwhelming, but you still think he was an MVP candidate for like 3/4 of the season. What was that, last year or 2 years ago? So I think I'd probably take him to LA Stafford. This is another close one, but I'm going to lean yes. I would take Matthew Stafford over Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, you're saying 100% healthy. I would say, I mean, he just won the fucking Super Bowl, so he knows how to do it.
He knows how to do it. He, I feel like that's kind of the hate with Kirk Cousins is like he's unwilling to just kind of let it go sometimes, and you don't have that problem with Stafford where he's just going to sling that thing.
Yeah, Stafford doesn't really like panic in the pocket, It's kind of like a classic Kirk thing. So,
which it's so funny going back to like the game too. I think we gave up like 2 sacks maybe, and I feel like it's football. Like the quarterback's gonna get sacked a couple times, but every time Kirk gets sacked, I'm just like, what is this fucker doing? Like it's just the word because especially with like all the running quarterbacks in the league, like I feel like sometimes you just see sacks, like they know the guy's there, but he's getting away for it. Kirk just gets like blown up, blindsided. Doesn't seem like
right in front of his face type shit.
And it's like, I mean, twice a game, good for that. But yeah, it's tough to watch. All right, Stafford, yes, close, but yes for both of us. San Francisco, Garoppolo. If you say yes after watching that Sunday night game, I can't keep doing the pod with you.
Yeah, no.
Yep, that's a no. Seattle, Geno Smith, no.
No. What was that quote earlier this year? That was kind of good. They wrote him
They wrote me off, but I didn't write back. They wrote back.
Yeah.
He wrote back. AFC North, maybe the most loaded quarterback division. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, going yes there. Don't have to think about that one too long.
You already know.
Who's got him in our league? Cincinnati, we have Joe Burrow. I'm going Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Joe Burrow is a stud. They just need a little time to get going. The O-line struggling a little bit. Classic.
Needs some protection. I hope that dude doesn't get injured. Like it just feels like sometime this week or sometime in the next coming weeks, like just something horrible is going to happen.
Hopefully not.
Cleveland, Sean Watson.
Give me my boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to wait to get him?
What was that?
Do you have to wait to get him? Or do you get him?
No, I think suspensions are also negated. So,
okay.
Just like injuries. So we get Deshaun Watson next week.
Yeah.
Don't like the guy, but come on. Great football player. Pittsburgh, Trubisky. Nope.
Maybe Kenny Pickett.
Why isn't he playing? Or is he playing?
I think they got to be moving that direction, but I don't know.
Yeah. Trubisky is hot dog water. Buffalo. You got Josh Allen. Easiest guess ever. Miami. Tua. So I am not going to overreact to the first 3 weeks of the season, and I'm going to say no. It would have been a hard no for me at the beginning of the season. He's looked good. Miami, one of 2 teams that is 3-0 in the NFL. But I would just like to see it for a little bit longer. He's looked good. He hasn't looked great, I wouldn't say. Had a great second half. What was that, 2 weeks ago when he put up the 38 bomb. But I need a little more from Tua before I'm willing to part ways with the great Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I think if the clause of learning the offense wasn't in there, I'd be a little bit closer. Because he'd have to learn the whole offense, and I don't know. I think he's just kind of heavily relying on Waddle and Tyreek, obviously. So.
Yeah. Well, he has so many of these throws, too, where it's just like they're so wide open. He still is underthrowing them. So I feel like it's going to be tough. I mean, that's not the reason I'm saying no because of learning the offense. I think I just want to see a little more from him. But yeah, it'll be. Maybe we'll revisit this topic in
that's a good idea.
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let me see it for a little bit.
Yeah.
New England, Mac Jones. Don't care if he's healthy. I'm gonna pass on that one.
Definitely not.
New York, Zach Wilson. Don't care if he's healthy. Gonna pass on that one.
Go ahead.
To the AFC South now, we have Davis Mills for Houston.
I might fucking do this one. I like the long neck motherfucker.
I like him.
Nah,
But
he's not about that life.
Indy, Matt Ryan. The one thing I want to say,
dude, this is another dude we should talk about. Fucking bottom 3 in the league. It's
my God.
dude, please retire. You're so bad.
How did he fall off just like so hard? Especially when all these dudes have like the Tom Brady to look at of like how you do it. These guys just don't know what they're doing. And Matt Ryan, please be out of the league. He's the new Ben Roethlisberger. Just like, I can't watch this guy week to week. He's
I was
so
literally
awful.
just gonna say the same thing. Please be gone.
Please be gone. Hopefully next year. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. Interesting one. And I think I'm going to lean on my Tua argument and say no for this. I'd just like to see it for a little bit longer. Obviously, if we were talking longevity, I would probably take Trevor Lawrence. If we're just like the Vikes are set up for the next 10 years, probably taking Trevor Lawrence. But I'd like to see him do a little more with Jacksonville this year, but they look awesome.
They look great. I'm going to go with it's more fun. So I'm going to take him.
You're going to take him?
He's
cool. A little more fun.
Him and JJ would just bond together.
Is he that cool, though? What does he do that's that cool?
I mean, he can run. I like him.
Yes. No, I thought you were talking like personality. Like you think he'd do a better like Casey's Pizza commercial or something?
I know nothing about his personality. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
He needs to cut his hair probably.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He'd look weird though. Like what would he do?
I don't know. I would like him and JJ. I'll just say that.
That'd be nice. All right. So we disagree on that one. Ryan Tannehill for Tennessee. You want to take a flyer on him?
If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said yes.
It's going to be a no. All right. Last division, AFC West. Russell Wilson. I would have said yes before the season.
Before the season, for sure.
He's the most insufferable. I wouldn't care if they were like 3-0 and he was like an MVP candidate at this point. He is the most insufferable dude in the NFL. Besides, as we mentioned, Aaron Rodgers. But honestly, he's just like more public now than Aaron Rodgers. Like it's just I see him on Twitter every fucking day.
I feel like he's just completely doubling down on this this personality thing that he knows everybody fucking hates, but he's okay with it because it gets him more attention. Like I actually think that's true, and then I think about it, it's like, or is he really that fucking annoying?
He's really that fucking annoying, I think.
The pass ball thing on the sideline.
That thing was terrible. Were we talking about how he did the Brady video, like the W video after they got the win? It's just like, who told you to do this?
And what was the score? Didn't you win by like, wasn't it like 12-11 or?
Yeah, and like when Brady does it, he actually shows like sick plays from the game in his videos. It's like you guys didn't have any of those.
Yeah, literally zero.
All right, Wilson too. I think we would have some disagreements from some guys in our league about that one, but Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, yes. Las Vegas, Derek Carr, maybe closer before the season started, but I'm out on Derek Carr.
Yeah, I had a question mark next to his name, kind of like the Tua and Trevor Lawrence.
Kind of feels like Kirk Cousins light almost, you know.
I agree.
Last quarterback from the Chargers, Justin Herbert.
I think there's no question about that one.
Don't think there's a question for that one. All right, so that all said and told, you guys are wondering where does Kirk Cousins rank in the NFL? he is my 12th quarterback. I would take 11 guys over Kirk Cousins. So, middle of the pack.
I think I took a couple over you, so
He's
I'm
probably
more
like,
advanced.
yeah.
But who fucking knows? It's Kirk Cousins.
It's Kirk Cousins.
If you're trying to win the Super Bowl, I don't think Kirk Cousins is your dude.
I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl this year. And he might be the dude that like fluctuates the most. Like if he went out and just like shit the bed next week, he could be like 23rd on this list.
Absolutely.
But guess what, boys? That's who we got for the season. So buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. Tate, before we get you out of here, we're going to do a little basketball and talk about I think he's your favorite player. I'm a little iffy on him. That, of course, is Karl Anthony Towns. So it was recently his girlfriend, Jordan Wood's 25th birthday. And he had a very, very cringe letter to her. So I'm going to read that for the audience, and then we're going to discuss. To my birthday girl, happy 25th birthday. After this, you get to say you 18 every year like your mom's, LOL. I know every year I have showered you with material gifts that people wish they could cop, parentheses, king shit. But this year, your 25th walking this earth, it's time to go from that girl to a full woman. You pick 2 businesses you want to start, and I will fund them. It's time to take that next step, and I will walk with you step by step in this thing we call life. Te amo mucho. Let's take over the world. ... Together. Love, Cat. So there's a lot to unpack in that message.
Let me just say this.
You take this one.
This dude's a fucking cunt. And that's just factual. There's no question about it. He put king shit in parentheses, talking about his fucking self. I mean, we can go through the whole thing, but I mean
that might be the worst part of the letter. Number one, the first thing that jumped out to me is like, after this, you get to say you 18 every year like your mom's. That's something that people do when they're like 50 and they say they're 30. You're not supposed to say you're 18 when you're only 25. Like, just weird right off the bat. Makes no sense. The king shit, just classic.
That is.
Could I have read this letter to you without you seeing it, without saying cat, and just said like famous basketball player? Would you have gotten it?
I would be willing to bet. Since
famous athlete.
That'd be tougher. But if you said basketball player and we're from Minnesota and Timberwolves fans, like I think I might hit this.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is just the gift itself. I'm gonna fund 2 businesses. What does that mean? It almost seems like one of those like fake gifts that you never have to give. Because like what? She's gonna come up with a business plan. She has to figure out who the employees are. Like what? You're just funding the entire business? Because at that point, isn't it just your business?
Also, that's so far from king shit. If you're a king, you would just like say don't do anything and just chill at home.
Right. I saw the tweet. It's like, this isn't a present. This is just giving her 2 jobs.
Yeah, that's just more work for her to do.
It's the opposite of king shit. Bad way to start the season for Cat. Terrible way. It was media day for the T-Wolves, I think yesterday. Do you see Ant? Dude looks yoked.
That's the saddest part about the whole thing is like when Cat was just the dude, it's like, well, he's all we got. And now it's like we have Ant, and now you have Cat being all cringy and miserable.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's a really tough look. Well, I want to thank you, Tate, for coming on. It's been a blast. We'll have to get you on maybe later in the season. Any parting words to the league that you want to give?
Cheers, boys. Good luck. Just send me a trade. I'll do something.
You heard the man. He's looking for trades. All right, Tate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in this week. Hope you enjoyed the pod. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you for week 4. All right, everyone. Peace.